We've all lived in New York. It was once a great state. It has become an absolute disaster. New York City is a freaking nightmare under Eric Adams, which is just an extension of de Blasio. Hochul took over. Nobody's ever voted for her. She loves lockdowns. She would do it all again. Here is Lee Zeldin, who just sort of appeared out of nowhere in the last 2 months, and he's leading in some of the polls right now.
My opponent still can't finish this sentence, so you can't expect her to ever fix it. But New York leads the entire nation in population loss because she actually got asked this question by the media a few weeks ago when she was at Binghamton Airport. She probably would love to have her redo because she messed it up that time. For me, you asked me, why does New York lead the entire nation in population loss? Because their wallets, their safety, their freedom, and their quality of their kids' education are under attack. So they're hitting their breaking point. They're looking at other states like the Carolinas, Tennessee, Texas, Florida, and elsewhere, and they feel like their money will go further, they'll feel safer, and they'll live life freer. The state is at a crossroads. We were at a crossroads in 1994 when New York elected George Pataki, and we're at a crossroads right now. But as far as what happens with Kathy Hochul and one-party rule for 4 more years, outsized power of self-described socialists, we need balance and common sense restored to Albany.
Karol, I was super impressed by him. I watched the replay of the entire debate. It wasn't just that, you know, it's easy to hit Hochul because she's been so bad. It's like he's passionate. He's honest. He also strikes me as a decent guy who would pick your friends up after school and take you to Burger King or something. Like, I think this is just what New York needs.
I agree. He's really great. Even, you know, his primary opponents like Rob Astorino have been openly supporting him and really pushing him. I think that's really a tell that they're kind of motivated to defeat Hochul and, you know, let bygones be bygones. Yeah, I think he's terrific. And I would love to see New York do the same thing. I know that a lot of people have one foot out the door waiting to see what's going to happen with this, because if it is Hochul again, if she gets, you know, reelected and she can say, look, they wanted me. They wanted my policies. They wanted my ideas. Who knows what she's going to do?
Yeah.
And, you know, winter is coming. COVID rates are going to spike again because that's what COVID rates do in the winter in New York. And she could put the kids back in masks. She's already suggested it. She could easily lock down schools. She could do any number of things that I think people should be prepared for. This is a really important election for New York. This is a really make or break election for New York, and they should look at it like that.
Just to echo what Zeldin said there, they're giving me some numbers right now. So the population in New York in 2021 was about 19.8 million, which was a 1.58% decline from the year before. I mean, that's fairly significant. John, that shouldn't surprise anybody, right? Because Hochul even said, if you don't share our values, get going to Florida. Well, look at the 4 of us.
Yeah, look, I mean, they lost a congressional seat. Florida gained one. But I think I know Lee, and Lee is the guy you just described. Real likable guy, very competent, very well versed in the issues. Crime is off the charts, and I can speak to this one with authority. I came out of the police academy in 1993 under David Dinkins, right? And crime was bad, but it wasn't this bad. The criminals weren't as bold. Yeah, by the numbers, there was more actual crime because of years of losing bodies in the NYPD due to fiscal problems and having to rebuild and liberal policies. But because of the woke culture, the BLM riots, the Antifa riots, Dave, what I'm seeing, right, what I'm analyzing through the lens of experience and what I'm getting from the men and women still on the job, and Karol, I know, speaks to them as well, you know, via the Post, the boldness of the criminal is much different. Even under Dinkins, when crime was bad, the cops would roll up, we'd roll up in a marked car, they'd still run. Now they spit at you, they give you the finger, they make simulated gestures like they're going to shoot you. I've never seen boldness in criminals like this because they were emboldened starting in 2008 by the Obama administration, and they still are by Democrats running these cities.